This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So on Monday, we stopped at the differences between synchronous and asynchronous components, right? So did we see any examples of these? I think no.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So for the asynchronous transformation, so we can have the examples of aggregate transformation. Like in the aggregate transformation, if we have like 10 input records, okay, and we do then aggregate on it. So we may get 5 or 6, but not 10. So this is like 10 records we are input and 5 or 6 records we are getting as an output. So this is a asynchronous transformation. So these type of transformation will block the task and even at the table levels. Okay, so same as with merge join. So this is also comes under asynchronous transformation. While coming to synchronous transformations, we have sort kind of thing. So sort will just sort out in the order of ascending or descending. So it will not vary the number of records either in the input or in the output. So whatever number of records are there in the input, the same will be in the output also in the sort. Then the same goes with this data conversion also. I think you have worked on data conversion tasks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and same with the derived column also. Like derived column is nothing but creating a new column into the table.
Okay.
Yeah, so these type sort, data transformation, derived column, these all comes under synchronous transformations. Okay. So let's come to the overview of all the transformations once. Like we have in the business intelligence transformation category, we have these type of transformations. So if we go with fuzzy group transformation, so what this fuzzy group transformation is, it reduces the number of duplicates in the data set. So if a table has a data set, table has a duplicates number records on it, we can reduce the number of duplicates. So it is just to find the number of duplicates into the table and then reduce it. So fuzzy lookup transformation, what is it does is it used to return close matches of reference data. So I am passing a reference data, suppose like a reference table. If I input a reference table for this, it will just give me the records matching of those reference tables. It does not do the inner join, but it's kind of inner join. Inner join is the actual match. So it doesn't do actual match. It will look like a like operator, will operate like a like operator. You know like operator, right? Like operator and equals to operator, the difference between those.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Yeah, so what like will do is it will just return the close matches with that. So fuzzy lookup transformation will do the same thing. And the term extraction, so the term extraction transformation, what it does is it extract the terms like what we have as nouns or phrases in the text. If we want to extract those from the source, we have to go with this task, term extraction transformation. And we can extract those terms like these are nouns and phrases or verbs. We can extract those and put it as a new column, as output column, and store it in it if we have a requirement like that. And one more is a term lookup transformation. This is also a similar kind of thing, but it has a data type matching also. If we want to have a data type of text or numeric, we can extract those values. Okay, and if the term is found, then the transformation returns the value as well as the number of times it occurs in the row. So if suppose I am looking for a string called ABC,
Okay.
varchar data type. So I want a ABC value and data type of varchar. So it extracts the values and it also tells me in the whole text how many times it is occurring. Like if it is occurring 10 times, it also gives me the number of times also, the count.
Okay.
And the same thing we can do with the case sensitive also. If it is a capital, it will only look for capital, and if it is a small, it will only look for the small. So if case sensitive is off, it will look both for capital and small, and if you put it as a on, so it will only match with the capital or with the small letters.
Okay, ma'am.
And now coming to data mining query. So this data mining query, what does this is purely on the DMX queries, data mining expression queries. We can like select the mining queries. So we have algorithms for data mining. In the data science, we will be learning those things. So we'll be having a algorithm. So those algorithms will be used for this data mining queries. So we can even select those queries and make a use of it and use a DMX queries. This is used to just predict what is going to be happen in the future. This is also similar to a SQL queries, but the syntaxes are a little bit different.
Okay.
This normally we don't use. This will be used by a data scientist itself, not from a data analyst part of view. We data scientist will be using these type of transformations. Data cleansing transformation is also similar to data mining query. So here also we'll be using some mining algorithms. What it will do is it will just automate the data cleansing activity. So data cleansing activity, you remember we learned in the last session that data cleansing is whenever we get a corrupted data or we get a incomplete data, we will be deleting those data from the table before
Yes, ma'am.
loading the database, right? So
Yes.
those things we are not automating it. So with this transformation, we can automate those things by writing a script kind of thing. We can
Okay.
write a query and then automate it or schedule it. So automating is
Okay.
nothing but a scheduling it. It will be run automatically and it's like a generalized way.
Okay.
So generalized way that means is the same query should work with any type of table, any type of columns, any type of tables.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what automation comes into the thing. Yeah. So let's go to the other category, split and join transformations. In the split and join transformations, we have a cache transformation wherein we'll be using the data, storing the data into the cache for the lookup transformation. We have a lookup transformation, right? So for that, we will be storing the data in the memory with this
Okay.
help of cache transformation. The conditional split is we can have a multiple conditions and we can separate the data into different destinations on the basis of the conditions. Okay, so
Okay.
suppose I want to separate the table values on the basis of the sales price greater than 200 rupees. So I can separate it out. 200 greater than 200 rupees records into one table, less than 200 rupees sales price into another table. It's just a conditional splitting of the table records.
Okay.
So then lookup transformation, as you worked on it, the lookup transformation is to join the input data, which is set to the data reference table. We can search for the data into from the reference table and the main table, and we can get the corresponding rows and the records, and we can have those output in a different table in the different destination. Okay, so we'll be looking this into while doing a demo part. The merge transformation is nothing but the merging of two inputs into a single table. So if I get we have a table A, table B as two sources, if we can merge those two tables into a single table like table C. But the problem with the merge transformation is the input sources should be sorted. Otherwise, this merge transformation will not work. Like it has to be sorted in any one of the columns. The one of the columns should have a sorted, then only this merge transformation will work. So here with the merge transformation, either we need to use a sort transformation or we may use a sort key column is there in the properties that I'll be showing you anyways. So those either sort transformation we need to use before doing a merge, or we need to change the key column as 0 as 1. Then only this merge transformation will work. So as in the SQL, we have an inner join, left join and all. So in the SSIS, we can do that thing, the joins thing with the help of merge join. So here we have a left join, outer join and the inner join. The same thing does here also. We will have options there, whether we want to go with the inner join or the left join or merge join. The multicast. So if the same table, if I want to replicate in a number of destinations without any transformations, without any conversions, I can do with multicast. Okay. So multicast is like I have a 3 databases. Suppose I have a 3 database. I want to like replicate tables from one database to other databases as it is. So I can do that. It's just a replication of a data into a multiple destinations without any conversions, without any transformations. So the union all is same as we have with SQL Server union all command. It just gives the overall, combines the multiple inputs into a single output. What in the union all, the rows are sorted in the order.
Okay.
Yeah, we need not to put a sort key column or any sort transformations as we have to do with the merge transformation. So that is not there in the union all. It will automatically ask us to which column we want to sort it out. And it can ignore some columns from each output. Like if we do not want some columns, we can just customize those columns and then we can map it.
Ma'am, each column need to be sorted or any one column?
No, only one column. Any one column has to be sorted out.
Okay.
Not each column.
Okay.
So I'll be showing you above the column we have on the table level property also, wherein we can put the sort key column as 1.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So now the row transformations category, we have a character map transformation, which will do the character operations on the string columns. It makes a common string data changes for us. Like if we want to have any data string changes, we can use character map transformation. We have a copy column transformation. So copy column itself means just replicating a same column into the table. If you want to have a same column with a different name, we can do with a copy column transformation.
Okay.
So data conversion transformation, wherein we can change the data types in it of all the columns. Derived column, we will create a new column with a data type on it. With derived column, we will be having options like we can create a new column, or we can replace a existing column. We will have options over there. We need to select. We can do either of these things, create a new column, or we can replace the existing column also.
Okay.
So OLDB command transformation. So this transformation runs a SQL command. We can directly write a SQL command over it without using any stored procedures or any functions. We can directly write a SQL command. So it will execute that SQL command as it is. So we can even parameterize it. We can include parameters into the SQL command and then pass over the parameters from the project. So those parameters thing I'll show you separately. There are different types of parameters, how we will be passing it. That's a different session. Script component transformation. So script component transformation is we can like write a script, C# script or .NET script, like a VB script to transform the data. So as I said earlier, if you are very much convenient on writing the code, we can make use of the script component transformation. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
So row set transformation. So this is aggregation and all comes here. The aggregate transformation where we will be using this sum, aggregate functions, and all the mathematical functions which we use, which we generally has a group by. In the SQL commands, we use group by, right? For all
Yes.
aggregate transformations. So those things I can do with this transformation.
Okay.
Row sampling transformation. So what does row sampling transformation is? This transformation is used to capture a sampling of the data using a row count of the data flows total row. It loads only subset of your data. So suppose like there will be a requirement where the client will be asking the data sampling. They want to see the sample data for it. And
Okay.
at the same time, our table has a lakhs of records. So I cannot extract lakhs of records to them. It is a hectic process, right? So you make a use of row sampling transformation. I can just give a sample records for them. So with this transformation, I need not to write top 10 or top 100, something like that. I did not to write. I can make use of this and can get a sample records and I can load it to a table and then I can share it with the clients.
Okay, ma'am.
So the percentage sampling is also a similar kind of thing wherein we'll be having a percentage of all the rows in the data source, how much this row is getting, like the comparison between the input source, it comes as in the percentage way. So this is also a same thing. The only thing is it comes with a percentage. The sort transformation, as we have already seen, it will sort the data in the column, either in an ascending order or a descending order. The pivot transformation. So pivot, have you done any pivot commands in the SQL?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, so in the SQL, whatever the pivot does, right? What pivot does is it converts the rows into columns. So suppose I have a column price. I have a product and price. So product A, the price is 200. Product B,
Okay.
price is 300. Now I have
Okay.
one requirement either in the report or in some dashboards wherein I need to show it as a like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. So
Okay.
what is actually it is, this is I'm converting each row into a column.
Okay.
Or even I can have a like this. There can be a scenario will be coming where we need to convert the rows into columns, or even the vice
Okay.
versa, from columns to rows. So at
Okay.
that point of time, we need to use pivot. If we want to convert rows into columns, we'll use pivot. And if we want to do vice versa, we can have an unpivot transformation, like columns
Okay.
to a row. Okay. So these are
Okay.
the basic categorizations of all the transformations: row set, row transformations, split and join transformations, business intelligence transformations. Okay. Now we'll go into the
Okay.
demo project and we'll start with the data migration first. Data migration
Mm-hmm.
from flat file to SQL Server. I'll show you what is
Okay.
fast load, what is the option of fast load, what is
Mm-hmm.
the error configuration in the task level where we need to configure the error and what are the different types of it. I'll show you data
Okay.
viewer, What is data
Okay.
viewer? How to enable the data viewer? What is a code page? There is some property called code page, which is very much important. And normally we do not we always ignore this code page, but it should not be ignored. There's some important of it. So I'll be showing you what is the importance of this code page and how to detect it.
Okay.
Data type properties wherein we will be having a sorting key and all. So everything I'll be showing you. Only this is only for the simple project direct direct from flat file to a SQL server. Okay, so from tomorrow each and every task for transformations I'll show you with the advanced properties and all.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
for this I'll be showing you all these properties.
Okay.
So let's start. So you can see the screen, right? Yeah, so I'll go with the data flow task as I need to do a ETL. Inside a data flow task, I'll be taking a flat file as a source. So we have number of sources here. We can even use a direct Excel source also. OLDB source, even if we have a XML file, we can directly use XML source also.
Okay.
But normally we go with the flat file. So double click on it, we'll get a connection manager. If we do not have, we can create one. Yep. So this is a flat file connection. Here we can give the flat file name wherein our sources. Suppose I have taken this as a flat file.
Okay.
So this is the new customer information I have in a .text format, .txt. So it has taken here, if you see the code page as 1252.
What
This
is it,
we
ma'am?
have to make sure if the code page comes in a different way. So there are these number of types of code pages are available.
Okay.
So now it came as a 1252 as a code page. And if I open in a notepad and save it as an ANSI 8, you change the code
Okay.
page. Suppose if I open this txt file in a notepad and change into ANSI 8, then a new
Okay.
code page will be generated. And if I save it there in the notepad and then again if I put it here as a source connection, you can see the difference. There will be a different code page as 65 something like that. Yeah, 65001. So that means if a user changes the code page or if user changes the format, the code page will change. So this is the main part we have to make ensure that the code page shouldn't change. Otherwise, the task or the package will fail. Okay, so we have to make sure the code page is what we are configuring in the starting itself. And the delimited one, here the delimiter is comma, it is taking automatically. The text qualifier, so by default it is none in the text qualifier, and if a text comes with double quotes, then we can ignore the double quotes with this text qualifier.
Okay.
Okay, even a text qualifier can be like this. So it depends on the data what the text qualifier comes as. Normally the default one is none, nothing is there. And here we can have we can check this if the column names in the first data row. If we want to check it as, we can put it as a check.
Okay.
Suppose if my text file do not have column names, only data is there, then we have to uncheck this. There can be scenarios where a file doesn't have column names, only data is there. So that we have to make sure that whether the source file has a column names or not. So in my case, there are column names in the text, so I'm checking this option. So going with the column, so this is the preview. I'm getting it. See, it has automatically taken as a column delimiter as comma. Here I can change. Even I can change it as a semicolon, but my file doesn't have semicolon as a column delimiter.
Okay.
So it automatically takes the comma as a delimiter. There is row delimiter also. Row delimiter means the end of the row. What character is there at the end of each row? So that you have to specify. It normally takes automatically and detects it, but better to make sure whether it has taken correctly or not. So this is the advanced. These are all the columns we are getting in the text file. Here I can change the data types here. I have a provision to change data types here. I have the provision to change the column width. I have the provision to put as a text qualified true or false. So text qualified means, suppose a value comes with a double quotes and I want to retain those double quotes into my table as it is. Okay. So then I'll put it as a false, text qualified false. So what does it mean? That double quotes will be there into my table also. But if I don't want those double quotes, then I'll put as a true. Then it will just ignore those. It will just ignore those double quotes and just simply load the value into my database. Fine. So here I can even change the column width, whatever I wanted, like this. Even I can make use of suggest types. It can suggest types, which data type I have to use, but this is not recommended. This suggest type is. So this is a preview of a data here. Here we can have a provision to skip the data rows. Suppose I do not want the first 2 rows, we can skip it. I do not want 10 rows, I can skip it.
Okay.
Yeah. So normally we do not skip, but sometimes we can have a scenario where we want to skip those rows. We can do that. So these are the properties in the flat file manager. So any doubts over here?
Ma'am, if you want to skip the last 2 rows, how can do that?
No, last 2 rows you cannot skip from here. There is no option in this window.
Okay.
That you have to do explicitly again, not from this.
Okay.
And one more is unique code. If we have a characters in the table which are other than English language, which have
Symbols like
Chinese and all. So those things, if there are, then we need to check this box. Otherwise, it will come as question marks.
Okay.
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 So that we may. So for these things, before doing, we have to analyze the data first. So what is the data there in the source? So first, we need to analyze. Then only we can go with these things and configure all these things, right? So if there are other than English language, then we have to go with Unicode.
Okay.
Otherwise, question marks will be saved into the table.
Okay.
It will not accept those characters, and it will just save it as a question mark. Yeah. So coming back to source editor. Here I have an option if I want to retain null values from the source. So if there are null values in the source, and if I want to retain as it is into my destination also, I can put check. If I do not want null values from the source, then I can uncheck it. Here also I can preview the data, what is there in the text file. Just a preview kind of thing, only 100 to 200 records it will be showing up. Yeah, the first 200 rows it will show up. It's just a sample data to view whether the data is coming correctly or not.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, and then the main important is column mapping. Column mapping must happen, otherwise the task will fail. So we have to map the external column to the output column. So this is the mapping thing for each and every column, and then the error output.
What does it mean? Error output.
Error output. Yeah, I'll show you. So in the error output, if you see, we have two types of errors. One is normal error, showing it as error, and one more, it is showing it as a truncation. So what does truncation mean? First of all, let us. Truncation means, so suppose I have a column with a 20 varchar. I have given a length of 20 for one column. Okay, but the value came with a length of 50. I can show you. I'll be showing it right now. Suppose I have a column 1 with varchar. Let's take it as less. Varchar 2. Okay, in a table, I have a column 1 with varchar 2, but in my for column 1, the value came it as like this. So this is
more than 2 characters.
Yeah, more than 2 characters. So obviously what SQL Server will do is it will just truncate the data for only 2 characters, and then it will store. So it will just store VH.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So for this, if I want to avoid this, I do not want VH. I want to I want to throw it error, the data is being truncated and task should fail at there itself. I do not want to proceed with the task further. Because I do not want VH to be stored. I want whole things to be stored. So if those things happens, if I want to explicitly force the package to fail, then what I'll do is I'll fail the component. So if whenever a truncation happens, fail the component, I'll check the data and then I'll reload the data, or I'll run the package again. So I'm telling the package, I'm telling the task, so whenever there will be a truncation in the database, just fail it. Suppose if that column is not necessary for me, it is not an important, it's just a dummy record, a dummy column, then I can just ignore the failure. What does ignore failure means? It will just ignore the failure. It will run the package as it is. It will never fail, or it will never throw an error. If I am fine with the truncation, suppose I am okay, VH is okay, VH is stored, okay, I'm fine with it because this column is not used anywhere. This is just a dummy column. If I think like that, then I do not want to fail the component. I can just tell the package, just ignore the failure. I can ignore the failure. One more is redirect. So I want to know which rows are getting truncated without failing the component, without failing the task. I just want to know the rows which are being truncated so that I can analyze those rows separately and then again reload the data. So that we can do. Redirect row means I can redirect these rows which are getting truncated into one more table.
Okay.
It will be stored into one more table.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
After the package is completed successfully, we can go and look into the table which rows are being truncated. And then we can make a decision on basis of our requirement, whether those are required or not required. So we have three options in the truncation.
Ma'am, hello.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, in redirect row, in destination, the failed column will not be inserted, right?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
In redirected row option, in destination table, that column will not be inserted. It will be inserted in another table, right?
Inserted. No, that value will not be inserted. Then there will be two destinations. Whenever we put this redirect row, I will have two destinations. One is the main destination, wherein the truncation records will not be there, and one more destination only for truncated records.
Okay.
Okay, so it will definitely ask for two destination whenever we opt for it, redirect row.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I'll be showing you everything, not to worry. I'll be showing you, just I'm telling you the properties, all these things right now. So in the same way as we have a we have a categories for this truncation, in the same way we have for error also. So if we get error, any type of error, if we want to fail the component, if we get any type of error, we can use the fail component. Or else if we want to ignore the errors, whatever error it comes, we just want to ignore it. We want to just proceed with the flow. The package should succeed in any ways, then we can opt for a ignore failure. Here also we have a redirect row. Whenever an error comes, I can redirect those error rows into a different destination.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we have two things. The one is column level configuration. Each and every column level we can configure these things, or we can have a table level configuration also. In the table level, overall table level also we can configure this. That depends upon how we want to do this. So normally the default is everything is fail. Even if a truncation comes, it will fail.
Okay.
The default is everything fail component. If a single small error comes, it will fail the component. Yeah. So this is the properties of flat file source editor. So as of now, I'm putting everything as a fail component. Connection manager, columns. Okay. Now I'll go with the destination. So my destination is SQL Server. So I'll be going with OLDB destination. So I have a OLDB wherein I'll be using a new connection manager for SQL Server here. So which I already selected it. So here coming to the main part, data access mode. So we have two modes here. One is normal mode. One is fast load. So fast load will be used whenever we have a huge tables with lakhs of records wherein the data should be loaded very fast. Okay, so this is a main, this is one of the very regular and repeated question in the interviews. Like they will be asking, how will you handle when there is a huge records of data into a table and you want to load it very fast in the SSIS? So what you will be doing, what configuration you will be doing on the SSIS? So only thing we have to do is we just need to change the data access mode to a fast load. That's it.
Okay.
They'll just confuse us with the question, but the answer is just simple, a simple sentence. A fast load in a data access mode. This is what we need to configure every time whenever we have a large and huge tables. So here we can, if the database is connected, the SQL server is connected and the database is connected, we can have in the drop downs the number of tables we have. Here we can keep the identity, the keep nulls, table lock. We can even uncheck this table lock. You know, locking table locks and all.
No, ma'am.
So table lock is whenever someone is reading the table, I do not want other to read that table. Like suppose I'm accessing one table, like table A. I'm just accessing that table. I'm doing some updates on it. I'm changing some values in the table. So I do not want other user to read the table. Then I'll put a lock on the table and just I'll be accessing it. So once my operation is done, then I'll release a lock so that everyone can read those tables.
Okay.
So it's just a table locking. It's a different concept in the SQL Server, which is very much important while we do optimization part. So we can make use of this here, table lock or tail. If we uncheck it, there will be no lock on the table. If we put check, the table will be locked until the data is being inserted here. So once the data is inserted, package is completed, table lock will be released.
Okay.
That is what it means. Yeah, the check constraints, we can have multiple constraints, right? Unique key constraints and all. So we can have those constraints. If we put check, it will validate each and every constraints and check on it. So it's a check constraints will be there. And if there are more records, we can even put batching concept here. If I just want to go with 1 lakh for each batch, I can go, you know, batching concept, SQL Server.
Yes, ma'am.
So the same thing will happen here also. We can put the number of rows for each batch. And this is a maximum insert commit size. This is the default one. So this is used for the committing after doing any DML like updates and deletes. It will take it. This is a size for that. So this we do not alter it normally. We do not need to alter it. It's just a default one. Here in the view existing, we can see whatever the data is existing into the table. As of now, I didn't run a load, so it is not showing any data. Okay. Now, main thing. Suppose I need to create a new table, I can create it from here. So these columns, it is automatically taking it, right? It is taking it from the source, from my text file. My text file contains these columns. Remember, first name, middle name, last name, birth date. So
yes, ma'am.
take those column names from the source, and here what we need to just do is we just need to change the table name. Suppose I changed it. So I just created, so I can create a table from this platform itself. If I view existing, it will just show me the preview of that table, whatever we have created right now. Yeah, after that, we have to go with the mapping. So here, see, the error is showing, the warning error, map the columns on the mapping page. Otherwise, it will not go ahead. Okay, automatically detects the mapping if the column names are same. But if they are not same, suppose if in the destination column, in the SQL Server table, I have a different column name, then we have to map it manually.
Okay.
If the column names are same, it will automatically map.
Okay.
But if the column names are not same, we have to map it manually. That we have to make sure we do it. So after mapping, we have the same, the error component. We can fail the component, we can ignore the failure, we can redirect the rows which are error, which comes into the error.
Okay.
So, okay.
Why, ma'am, why column names are not showing in destination? Error output. Error
Where?
output, ma'am. Error output. Column names are not showing in destination. Why?
No, this in the output we are not doing any operations on the column levels, right? It's just an insert we are doing.
Okay, okay.
Here, why it is showing that we are doing an operations on the each and every column, it is coming up and then it is being inserted into the database. So in the
Okay.
database, what can be there in the error output for each column? Tell me. That it will be like the table level only. If we have like one more flow above over the destination, if I have one more flow, right, then I'll get all the columns here.
Okay, okay.
Normally this destination will not have one more flow. I meant is like in the control flow, if we have one more task, then we can get.
Okay.
So this is the data viewer path. If we click on this relation, the link, double click, right click on it, you will get enable data viewer. If I put enable data viewer, I can see what all records are getting transferred into this records.
Okay.
While on the go, I can just view the data, which are the data being transferred in the go. Normally in the production, we don't enable this because it will slow down the process. And there is no use also because in the production, no one will be viewing the data, right? For the development purpose, we'll be using it. For the development and the testing purpose, we can make use of data viewer. So what I was supposed to show you, data viewer code page data sorting key. Okay, sorting key I need to show you. Yeah, I'll just run this, start it. So the first the build starts and then it succeeds. So this is how it shows us. These are the data which is coming up. Until I close this, it will not succeed. It will not execute.
Okay.
Close this, it will succeed. So 384 rows have been transferred from source to a destination.
Okay.
So in the progress, I can check when the validation has started, the starting time, and the finishing time. So total elapsed time is 16 seconds. So my task, whatever, the package run within a 16 seconds. So every detail information it will show it. Some error it shown like global memory error. Everything it will be here. The progress.
Okay, ma'am.
Even in the control flow task, it shows that green signal. That means it succeeded. If I close the debug, go into the destination, just view existing, I can see the sample 200 rows.
Okay.
Just now we have loaded it, these records. Okay.
Okay.
So the sorting key, right? Sorting key, I'll be showing you what is the sorting key.
Okay.
Now suppose I'm deleting a flat file right now. Now let it be this. Now I'll take one more source as a OLDB source, a SQL Server table as my source.
Okay.
SQL Server table OLDB source. So we have created some table, right?
Okay.
I've taken it as the address, columns, error output, the default one. Okay. Okay. So now I want to sort the columns. So right click on the task, go to the show advanced editor. Double click on it will be giving us a generalized one, generalized editor. Right click on it, go to the show advanced editor. Here we'll have advanced properties we can set here. Go to the input and output properties in the advanced editor. See here we can toggle down the source output. If I put here, if I select OLDB DB source output, if you see in the common properties, I have E sorted, right? E sorted a function is there. There, if I put as true, it will ask me which column I need to sort. So on the table level, I'm putting this E sorted as a true. And then on the city level, go with the output column, go to city. I can change the sort key position as 1. So this is how we do the sorting. Understood?
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
And
okay, ma'am.
instead of using a sorting operation, sorting transformation, normally we have a sort transformation separately. We have sort transformation separately, but without using this sorting transformation, we can do it even in the advanced editor of this task. So here I can use it. This is a sort transformation. Here I can check which ascending or descending sorting order. We can do it here. So there can be a question in the interview like sorting, how can you achieve sorting in the SSIS? Or without a sort transformation, can we do sorting in a different way? There can be questions like that. Okay. These are the repeated questions which
Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So any doubts till now? Anything I skipped out? Code page, data type, data type, I think skips.
Data properties.
Going to the flat file, show new. I didn't show you flat file advanced editor, right? Let me show you file advanced editor. Yeah, if we go with flat file source output, go to the output columns, first name. If I go with the common properties, I can change the data type here also.
Okay.
Have a provision to change the data type here. I have a provision to change, I can increase the length, I can decrease the length.
Okay.
The data type modifications can be done here itself.
Okay.
If I do here, suppose I have changed 100 varchar length. String is nothing but varchar in the database length. Then I have to change in the database also, because in the database it will accept, like it will be expecting that something 100 length is coming up. And if database it has a length of only 50, then it will do a truncate. And if we put it as a ignore failure, the truncation will happen. And if we put as a fail component in the error configuration, it will fail the component, saying it as truncation happened in this column. That is why the task has failed, the package has failed.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. Okay, anything else in this sorting and all data viewer? So this is an
No,
error
ma'am.
confirmation. The red color it is showing, right? It is an error output. So we can put it as output to a different destination also. We can create one more destination.
Okay.
So destination OLDB destination. Oh, to save. I can create see in the data error table destination, it will accept only these three things: the flat file source output column,
Okay,
the
flat words. Okay.
error column.
Okay. Okay.
So whenever okay, so I'll tell you what is this. So whenever error comes, those error records will redirected to this destination. Okay. Srinivas, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there.
Okay. So
Hello.
for if I configure this, it will the task will expect me that any either of the one column should be like redirect row.
Okay.
Then only it
Okay.
will not
Because
be nothing.
yeah, errors need to be inserted in destination too.
Yeah. So any either of the column should have a property as redirect row. Then only this makes sense, right?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Understood.
This is what for the today's sessions. So for from tomorrow, I'll be showing you each and every transformations in a
Okay,
detailed.
ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you please, if possible, can you please send the PPT also?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I got your mail. I'll just mail you through the PPTs.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the day. Good day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.